My name's Beth. I'm a primary school teacher. I worked in the UK and in Brasilia in a primary school for 5 years, and then last year I spent the last year doing a stride placement in Anápolis in Brazil, in the centre of Brazil. So I've been working in a children's home, primarily with the teenage girls. So I lived and worked with them in many different aspects, teaching, but also being a mentor, friend, an agony aunt, a mum, counsellor, all those kind of things. Just doing life with them and helping to set an example into how you can do life. I also got to teach dance to the younger girls in the home, and I taught English once a week in a preschool, in a Christian preschool in Brazil. So for me, when I was deciding to do mission work and to spend some time serving God and serving the people in Brazil, I decided to go with Latin Link because of the support network in place. So not only in that an emergency case, and if something goes wrong, thankfully it didn't, but if something goes wrong, there's people to contact, people to help, people who know what they're doing, but also on the day-to-day side of things. So having a mentor or a team around you that would send you a message and say, how are you doing today? How can we pray for you? Meeting up regularly, just to chat through life, and especially when you're abroad and you're away from family or friends, having someone who genuinely wants to sit and talk to you and care about what you're saying was really valuable, and that's one of the huge benefits of being on team with Latin Link. So for me, the most challenging aspect, I would say, is the difference in cultures and the way, in particular in regards to discipline, coming from a British schools background to going to a Brazilian care situation, the cultures are very different, and I found that quite tough, especially when I wasn't necessarily able to use my experience to maybe make huge amounts of changes in the situation that I was in. But during that time, I was able to listen to what God was saying, is that think of the reasons behind why things are done. So, for example, it seems something so small as I would get frustrated why we had to clean everything so much all the time, but actually the reasons behind it being, if a child looks dirty, they might not think they're well cared for, and so it wasn't a small pernickety thing that wasn't necessary, it had a reason behind it. And so I think paying attention to that and being humble to that situation, there's a reason why we do those things in every culture, but to pay attention to that before making a judgment was a really good lesson that God taught me. On Stride made a huge difference. I had a really great mentor. We met every other week in person and chatted about everything from the ministry and the places where I was working to just generally how I was doing, to my family, sharing life with one another, and that was really valuable because it felt like I had, and it was, I did have someone to connect with in those times, not just about the work that you were doing, you could only talk about work, but just day-to-day life and how you were doing. And yeah, having that person was really valuable, and I think my time on Stride would have been completely different without a mentor, and it's just really inspiring to see people who are doing missions long-term in that environment and different environments, and get to know them, and for them to draw you closer to God, and for you to, share your experiences with someone nearby. For me, something that struck me is how different each child can be in similar situations. So all these children had different backgrounds, different family situations, different things that happened to them in the past, different things that are happening to them in the future, and they all had their own individual difficulties. And so getting to be a part of that, I felt really honoured that the children would share that with me, that the teens would be willing to share their life and let me be involved in their story in some way or another. And so that was really great. I really enjoyed being part of that and getting to know the girls and getting to know the children. And yeah, being part of the younger children's lives of wanting to show you things and play things and give you hugs and spend lots of time with you was really loving. So it's a really loving environment to be in. Obviously not without its difficulties. The children come from some quite challenging backgrounds, and the way they share those traumas or difficulties they've had in the past could be quite intense. But again, feeling honoured to be let into those backgrounds and into those lives, and for the children to trust you enough to share that with you, I thought was really, really meaningful to me, and I'm really grateful to have been a part of that. I'm going back to Brazil, back to Brasilia, and I'm going to be working for an international church there. So prayer points particularly for this season would be wisdom. It's a new role for me, it's a new role in the church, working with the children in the international community. So wisdom on how to do that job well, and that God can use me to serve the children and serve the community in Brasilia, and use the work that we're doing to draw more people to Him.